Hello, Son of God and my brother. This is Your Awakening, and in this video, we're gonna talk about the truth and only the truth. Only God's plan for salvation will work. So, this is the main idea of the day. This is your function, this is your happiness, this is everything, this is the only thing in this world of illusion, in this space-time illusion, in this one-dimensional time that is already over. This is the only thing that will feed you, that will have meaning for you. You're gonna be part, you are, when you play yourself, your true self, the presence, the consciousness inside you. When you play your true self, you are part of something big, of the divine plan, your true function. And unless you fulfill that function, guilt is gonna hunt you, because your function and your happiness are identical, okay? And you have to really get today's lesson and really start diving deep inside you, reconnecting, getting your mind back, because we already said that unless you can direct your thinking, if you can't stop the mind, it's not yours. So you have to get it back. Only God's plan for salvation will work. Stand for your freedoms. Play your true self. Return to your power, Son of God. Return to your power. You may not realize that the ego has set up a plan in opposition to God's, but it is this plan that you do believe. Since it is the opposite to God's, you believe you believe that you accept God's plan instead of this. Instead of the egos, is to be damned. This sounds preposterous, of course, yet after we have considered just what the ego's plan is, perhaps you realize that however preposterous it may be, you do believe in it. Okay, if you believe you're human at this moment, you do believe in it. Right? But you're not bound by time, you're not bound by that, you are gonna set yourselves free. Right? And the ego's plan for salvation, we said that centers around grievances, and it continually maintains that if someone else acted different, if some external circumstance or event were changed, you would be saved. Thus, the source of salvation is constantly perceived as outside yourself, and each grievance you hold is a declaration and an assertion in which you believe, that says, if these were different, I would be saved. So the change of mind necessary for salvation is thus demanded of everyone and everything except yourself. And the role assigned to your own mind in this plan then is simply to determine what other than itself must change if you are to be saved. And according to this insane plan, any source of salvation is acceptable, provided that it will not work. Welcome to the insanity of the ego and to the slavery of this world. This ensures that the fruitless search will keep going again and again and again, and the illusion is going to persist. And although this hope has always failed you, for some reason in your mind there is still hope that in other places, in other things, another person will get served better, another situation will offer success, and such is the ego's plan for your salvation. Okay, such is the ego's plan for your salvation, and surely you can see how it is in strict accordance with the ego's basic doctrine, that is, search and do not find. That's how the ego manipulates you. He traps you in the illusions and he slowly kills you in time. You make your own death, you are a slave to nothing. Literally, you are a slave to idols, purposeless, causeless illusions without effects. But as long as your mind believes in those errors due to the illusions of the ego, you just bow down. No, you stop bowing down, and you have to stop being an eternal seeker. Okay, and what could surely more guarantee the continuance of the ego and you not to find salvation than to channelize all your efforts where salvation is not. Salvation is within you. It's through your mind, through the presence, through the awareness that you are. You have to play yourself. It's inside you. Okay, but you have to play yourself. God's plan for salvation works simply because by following His direction, you seek salvation where it is. Okay, and the Prime Creator has sent us the Holy Spirit here, so we have everything we need. All the means are given us. All we have to do is to choose right, and then commit to the path that we only get. God only gives. Don't worry. Just commit all in and leave this hell behind. Leave sacrifice behind. Okay, just leave this world behind forever. You only get, and your salvation is the salvation of this world. Your healing is the healing of all. Your ascension is the ascension of all. You only give what you are. You only give what you have. Your salvation is the salvation of all. In this world, that needs only salvation. Only salvation is needed. Only salvation. Everything else is ignorance and needs correction. It's arrogance and needs correction. And the only function that you have to do here, and the only function that leads to true freedom, is the service to the Holy Spirit. And that means healing, miracles, and doing the errors of the minds in this world, ending time, ending death, which means if you don't do that, you need correction. Okay, you're deceived, the ego deceives you, and you need to remember who you are. Remember, Son of God, I'm here for your awakening. And but if you are to succeed, as God promises you will, you must be willing to seek there only in the presence above. Pray yourself. Otherwise, your purpose is divided, and you'll attempt to follow two plans for salvation that are diametrically opposed in all ways. Okay, the result can only bring confusion, misery, and a deep sense of failure and despair. How can you escape all this? Very simple. The idea for today is the answer. Only God's plan for salvation will work. There can be no real conflict about this because there is no alternative to God's plan that will save you. Okay, you have to get out of the illusions of the ego, and His is the only plan that is certain in its outcome. His is the only plan that must succeed. So let us practice recognizing this certainty today, because when you play yourself, there is certainty, there is no doubt. And let us rejoice that there is an answer, what seems to be a conflict with no resolution possible. There is a doorway out of this hell. There is a way to overcome death. Okay, and the way is right here in front of you. All things are possible to God. Salvation must be yours because of His plan, which cannot fail. And you have to join your efforts. Now is the time for freedom. Now is the time to get your minds back. Join the efforts. We have to redeem this world. We came for the salvation of this world. Remember, Son of God, remember. So begin the 2 longer practice periods today by thinking about today's idea. Only God's plan for salvation will work. Practice awareness of presence. Only God's plan for salvation will work. And realizing that it contains 2 parts. It's making equal contribution to the whole. God's plan for salvation will work, and other plans will not. And do not allow yourself to become depressed or angry at the second part, because it is inherent in the first. And in the first, it is your full release from all your insane attempts and mad proposals to free yourself. They have led to depression and anger, but God's plan will succeed. I'm already there. I'm saved. I'm in the eternal. I already made the journey. I'm the proof. I'm the proof. It will lead to release and joy. I'm the proof. Remember this. Let us devote then the remainder of the extended practice periods to asking God to reveal His plan to us. Ask Him specifically, what would you have me do? Father, what would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say? And to whom? Give Him full charge of the rest of the practice period and let Him tell you, let me tell you what needs to be done by you. What needs to be done by you? Practice stillness, practice presence, awareness. He will answer. He will answer because you ask in the right microphone. You ask from Him and He will answer. But you have to practice awareness of presence and ask inside you, not out there, not with this, with your mind. Heart call. He will answer in proportion to your willingness to hear His voice. Refuse not to hear, and ask Him what needs to be done in His plan for salvation, for your salvation. The very fact that you are willing to do these exercises proves that you have some willingness to listen. This is enough to establish your claim of God's answer, okay? And in the shorter practice periods, tell yourself often that God's plan for salvation and only His will work. Be alert to all temptation to hold grievances today and respond to them with these forms of today idea. Holding grievances is the opposite of God's plan for salvation, and only His plan will work. Holding grievances is an attack on God's plan for salvation, and only His plan will work. Stand for your freedoms. Follow my guidance. I already made the path. Follow my guidance. All thanks to Christ. All thanks to Holy Spirit. All thanks to the Prime Creator, because all our power comes from Him. And try to remember today's idea 6 or even 7 times an hour. There could be no better way to spend half a minute or less to remember the source of your salvation and to see it where it is. Only God's plan for salvation will work. Only God's plan for salvation will work. Only God's plan for salvation will work. It's inside you. When you play your true self, you are that presence, that awareness, that noticer behind the thing in mind that didn't change at all since the moment of your birth. That's the only thing that is you. The rest is your prison. Only God's plan for salvation will work. Say it everywhere.